Welcome, Oldster subscribers. This is the first and possibly only
Mhm.
Oldster Magazine infomercial, where I will be featuring Glow Juice, my favorite and only facial product made by the one and only Rebecca Wolff, a poet, author, um, editor, and also public servant these
Mhm.
days. And today, birthday girl. So, first of all, happy birthday and welcome to Rebecca Wolff.
Well, thank you. Sorry. It is an incredible pleasure to be here and to, talk to you about not only Glow Juice, but everything else that we have to talk about.
First of all, how do you like your 50s? I am enjoying my 50s, except for the pandemic part. I, feel like the most in my own skin. How about you?
Interesting. Yeah, I was just thinking back to my 50th birthday 4 years ago and remembering that it was painless and that it felt nice to be like significantly just old, basically, just to sort of be like, yep, no doubt. Like I've always kind of embraced like the sense that it's important to really sort of like mark your passage of time. Like I don't get it when people are like, I feel like a kid still inside or something. Like I definitely feel old, you know, but I'm pretty interested in that, I guess. So 54, coming up to it, I was like, ooh, this is really getting serious. And I had some gloomy / melancholy thoughts about it. But overall, I am proceeding.
Well, that's the only way to go, is
That is,
proceeding.
yeah.
I'm 56, so I've got 2 years on you. And the weather's great up here. I recommend it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I realized already like 54 feels better than 53. Something about the number 53 wasn't really happening for me. But numerologically, 54 is divisible by 9, which is always a good thing.
Yeah, I like the nines.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to do our infomercial. I remember the heyday of infomercials in the 80s, blue blocker sunglasses and no money down real estate, starring, I think, Keith Raniere from Nixium.
Yes, I think you're right.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
But I just felt like I really needed to promote this stuff, which I do not get paid for. I don't make any money from this, but what I get is that if people buy this, it will help you stay in business. And I need this to exist for, the next 40 or so years.
I really appreciate that. You're my ideal consumer / customer. Yay.
Yay. I mean, I don't want to live in a world where there's no glow juice. So I felt like let's tell everybody. Not only, I mentioned it before, but I just want everybody to know all about this. And it will be part of our gift guide, in which I will also be talking about the new Oldster merch that you will be able to buy on Etsy. I'll also be promoting Goodbye to All That, Writers on Loving and Leaving New York, in which Rebecca also has an essay. That's right.
Coincidentally, completely coincidentally.
So long, suckers.
Bye bye, suckers.
Deliciously irreverent. Love your contribution to this book. And also, I'll be promoting subscriptions to this newsletter. So let's talk about Glow Juice.
Yeah. I mean, it seems funny to talk about what is essentially a moisture spray. Okay, let's just come right out. It's a moisture spray. And why did I invent this moisture spray? It was because I just really wanted it. I really needed it. I was like, my skin feels dry. And I don't like to buy a lot of, miscellaneous products. And I know that there's certain things that really feel great and work really well. And I'm going to create this formula that's going to suspend those ingredients in like a silky, like, I don't know, silky mess that you spray in your hand and then you just shoot. And so, yeah, it really, I mean, I was thinking about it today. It's like, it basically is the same reason that I started a literary journal. I was like, there's a thing out there that I know needs to exist. And in this case, it's a moisture spray. So, yeah.
And so tell us what is in this moisture spray. I feel like we should be doing that thing where we repeat each other's names the way to do it in infomercials. So Rebecca, tell me about what's inside Glow Juice.
Sorry. What's inside Glow Juice is a lot of aloe, a nice combination of avocado oil and almond oil, a little bit of rose kernel oil, like just a little bit because it's pretty powerful. Rose water is a key to things, and I'll confess, for a while I was using that super expensive rose water that's actually Vortis seed or whatever. There's this company that makes this, they do this very esoteric process to the rose water to make it into something like that they consider magical, which may be magical. But I also now just use regular rose water. And then a little bit of geranium oil, which is what gives it that like really beautiful, it's the smell that like hits you when you put it on, which is not overpowering, but just, and geranium oil is also actually really good for your skin. And then a tiny bit of like an emulsifier just to make it hold together, which I think is the key, because it's like you like spray it. I mean, I don't know, do you spray it directly on your face or do you put it in your hand?
I followed your instructions and I do 4 pumps and then I mush it in my hands and I put it all over my face. And I love it so much. It makes my skin feel and look amazing. And
Really?
it also smells great. And this is key, I am not allergic to it. I am allergic to so many things. I'm
Mhm.
allergic to natural things and artificial things. And I was afraid I was going to be allergic to this.
Mhm.
But I saw that you had posted about it on Instagram, I guess about a year ago. And I was tempted because I couldn't really find anything. I don't use most products. I wrote a book for the founder of Aveda in the late 90s, and I was using
Wow.
some Aveda stuff, but then I became allergic to it. And God forbid I ever become allergic to this, because it just it makes me feel so good. And also there's like aromatherapy happening, and I am also like really skeptical about things like
Yeah, I think this is a
aromatherapy.
product that like really is good for people who are not usually people who kind of want to become devoted to a product. You know what I mean? Like who, like it's something where I don't know. I feel like it synthesizes with your like just your basic, the most basic component of you, which is your skin. Maybe that's the most basic component. I don't know. It covers your whole body. And yeah, like I literally crave it in the morning. Like I actually can't wait to put it on. I'm like, yay, I get to put on the Glow Juice. Yeah. So, I mean, and yes, I have one friend who is allergic to rose water, who I actually mix it specially for her with lavender water instead. Like she's allergic to rose things. But the geranium, she doesn't react with. So yeah, it's really great. And I think that I don't know, I say go for six squirts.
Wow, 6
Yeah.
squirts.
If
I
you
mean, I
want to
got
go
to make
down
it
the
last. I'll confess here, I use it twice a day, and then sometimes I use it to like, I'll be like, okay, if you just write one more page, you can put on some more Glow Juice. Like that's how insane, that's how obsessed I am with this stuff.
Oh yeah.
So listen, readers, go buy some so that you can keep me in Glow Juice the rest of my life. Um,
Yeah.
how did
Yeah.
you know how to make this? That was something I've been wondering, how did you know how to do this?
I mean, I seriously have no idea. It's quite funny. It's really funny. I've never done anything like, I've cooked a fair bit in my life. I mean, I definitely, I understand like there's some processes where like if you whip egg whites, they will do this. And if I get that. But honestly, it just actually just kind of came to me. I was like, well, okay. Also, I've done a fair amount of gluten-free baking, where you use this stuff which is in here called xanthan gum, which is the it's the thing that makes it hang together as like so it's not just all the different ingredients, kind of, it's an emulsifier. And but yeah, I basically just mm, you know, channeled it. I channeled the recipe from the ether of skin. I don't know. It was really funny, but I've only tweaked it a tiny bit, like since I first came up with it. I mean, that wonderful beauty reporter that you turned on to it.
Jessica DeFino.
Jessica
Shout out to
DeVino,
Jessica DeFino. Yeah,
she said it was a beautiful formula. That's the phrase she used. And I'm like, thank you.
I concur. So I did not know about the gluten-free baking. I have celiac, and I am going to put you to work. So,
Okay.
and
Cool.
you are multi-talented because you are not only the maker of Glow Juice, but you are a gluten-free baker apparently, and also you are a poet and an author and an editor. I know you edit Fence magazine, but you're about to take a sabbatical. Tell me about your books and Fence and what's going on there.
I mean, yeah, I'm getting ready to go into like a whole new phase of life, which I do think is, appropriate given my 54 years, that I take some time to work on my own writing, which about 24 years ago, I started Fence, and which, was a similarly kind of just like, I was like, there needs to be a literary journal like this. And so I made it, and I've been making it ever since. And it's had a lot, many books published, we're actually about to put out the 39th issue of Fence. And so meanwhile, I have 4 books of poems. A 5th one is going to come out. It's called Slight Return, from Wave Books. It'll be out in about a little less than a year. And then, but so I'm going to take some time to work on a second novel, which, the novel deals with sort of this whole impulse that we all have had to leave the center of activity / New York City, and kind of like filter north and figure out how to like do other things. I guess that's part of what the novel is about, is like, how do you maintain yourself as like what's your activity when you're not like in the center of activity, that's part of what it's about. So yeah. And then yeah, and then meanwhile, I was on the city council for the last 2 years,
Right.
and in Hudson, where I live. And so I'm going to be also trying to figure out, how do you like remain engaged politically when not actually being an elected official? What does that look like?
Oh, so your term is over.
Yeah, my term is over at the end of this month.
Wow. And but you've done some amazing things. I believe you raised a lot of money for some sort of anti-gentrification measure. Do you want to just say a little bit about that? Because that's also something that matters a lot to me.
Cool. Yeah, I wrote a grant application for the city to the Attorney General's office.
The city of Hudson,
The
New
city of
York.
Hudson, yes, which now to me is the city. That is really funny, actually. But yeah, and the grant was for $1 million to go towards anti-displacement, and specifically just anti-displacement of low-income people of color from the city, because as in Kingston, there's like a significant population that's been here for a while and is generally low income, and and so that's what happens with gentrification is like the demographic shifts. And in Hudson's case, it's been like rapid. There was a long ramp up period, but then it just has been just really rapid fire over the last couple of years. And so yeah, it's been amazing, because we basically, with the money, we're able to hire a city staff person who's a housing professional, and like able to kind of continue the work, hopefully over years. So it's been very meaningful.
Fantastic. That's so inspiring.
Yeah.
And also to know that like in your 50s, you can switch gears and try something different and succeed at it.
Yeah. I almost think that like that's kind of what the 50s are good for, is to actually, you know, pivot, as they say. And I always think of Germaine Greer's book about menopause. Do you know this book at all?
I've heard of it, but I don't
Yeah.
have it.
It's called The Change, and she talks about like one of the benefits of postmenopausal life is like you have a sort of a different energy, like a different, I don't know, kind of she talks about it as an austerity, which I sort of like. It's like a sort of a different remove from certain aspects of things, of just like life energy, and you kind of like get a little bit more, I don't know, perspective possibly, and the capacity to like, yeah, do something, like put something into motion, or put yourself into motion.
That's
And
fantastic. I need to get that book.
yeah,
So tell us where we can order Glow Juice from.
I mean, I'm gonna make an Etsy store one of these days, but so far I haven't. And it's I have a Squarespace website, which is okay. Of course, I don't know the URL, but I'm sure I can. We
I'm
can.
going to put it.
It'll be
So
linked to. It's like, you know, squarespace.glowjuice/ something. But and it's, yeah, and it works real well, that website, and I will ship it anywhere except Tasmania. Somebody tried to order it from Tasmania the other day, and it's like $69 to ship anything to Tasmania. So I mean, if she had wanted to pay that, you know, but
just no Tasmania. Okay. Hey, there have to be some limits.
yeah.
By the way, I saw that it is glowjuice.squarespace.com, but I'm going to put the link for everybody, make it real easy for you. Well, thank you, Rebecca Wolff,
Well,
for
thank you.
being on our first and possibly only ever infomercial.
Keep on glowing.
Thank you. You
And I
too.
will keep making the juice for the glowing.
Thank you so much, and happy birthday to you.
Well, thank you. Thanks very much. Bye.